Leonardo DiCaprio steps into a lavish restaurant in the heart of the city, dressed in simple, slightly rumpled attire, as though he has just come from an ordinary day. Seeking a discreet spot, he settles at a quiet table, hoping to remain unnoticed while the glow of crystal chandeliers reflects across the room. However, he barely has time to look at the menu before a waitress approaches him, wearing a condescending expression and a haughty stance. "Are you sure you can afford to be here?" she scoffs, raising her voice enough for nearby guests to hear. What happens next not only leaves everyone in the restaurant speechless, but also unveils a startling truth that changes everything. Before we continue this tale, let us know where you're watching from. And if you enjoy stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel because tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., we'll have another special story waiting for you. The Lumiere restaurant stood as a beacon of refinement in Beverly Hills, perched on one of the most prestigious avenues. Its large windows looked out over roads lit by luxury neon signs and slowly rolling sports cars. Within its walls, every detail was meticulously planned to make a lasting impression. Lumiere wasn't just a place to eat. It was a destination for those wanting to be seen and admired. Ashley, one of the most seasoned waitresses at Lumiere, strode gracefully through the dining area, her polished smile well rehearsed. A perfectly styled bun and an impeccable uniform underscored her air of professionalism and authority. For her, working at a top-tier Beverly Hills restaurant was more than just a job. It was a matter of status, something she never forgot to mention. But Ashley also had another side, an inflated sense of pride that often crossed the line into arrogance. She possessed an uncanny knack for quickly sizing people up, mentally sorting patrons by their attire, demeanor, and overall aura. "Some people just don't belong here," she often mused. The glass doors of the restaurant slid open, and a man walked in wearing threadbare jeans, a plain shirt, and a comfortable but unbranded jacket. His presence was subdued, almost invisible, as he walked calmly to the reception desk. Leonardo DiCaprio was never one to flaunt his wealth, despite being among Hollywood's most recognized figures. His low-key demeanor contrasted starkly with Beverly Hills' extravagant glitz, and at this moment, he looked like any regular customer. Ashley, absorbed in managing a VIP booking at the reception area, suddenly noticed him. She cut her conversation short, narrowing her eyes as she assessed him with thinly veiled contempt. His scuffed boots especially caught her attention. "Good evening," she greeted in a curt tone, forcing a quick smile that vanished almost immediately. "How can I help you?" "I'd like a table, please," Leonardo replied gently, showing no signs of irritation. Ashley quirked a brow, as if his request was absurd. Her look seemed to say, "How dare he?" Folding her arms, she dropped the fake smile altogether. "Are you sure you're in the right place? This is an upscale establishment." Still unperturbed, Leonardo nodded. "Yes, this is where I want to be." She let out a brief, disbelieving laugh, shaking her head. "All right, just a moment. I need to check something." Without any attempt at courtesy, Ashley retreated to the reservations office, where she typed his name with exaggerated flourish. Seeing no reservation listed, she rolled her eyes and re-entered the dining room, visibly irritated. "Well, as I expected, you don't have a reservation," she stated sarcastically. "We do have some tables left, but let me remind you, this isn't a casual eatery." Leonardo's demeanor remained steady. "I'd like to dine here," he answered in the same even tone. Ashley let out a loud sigh and snatched a menu with deliberate force. "Fine, follow me. I'll find you a suitable spot." She hurried across the dining area without looking back. They reached the most remote, uninviting corner of the restaurant, and she smacked the menu down on the table with a thump. "Here you are. This table should be perfect," she said in a syrupy voice. "If you need anything, let me know, but only if it's necessary, okay?" Leonardo maintained his faint smile, ignoring her rudeness. "Thank you. I'm sure this will be enlightening." Heading off with brisk steps, Ashley muttered loudly enough for a couple at a nearby table to hear. "He won't last 5 minutes once he sees the menu." Across the dining area, Leonardo calmly read over his options, taking in the serene piano music. His composure drew curious glances from others, but he appeared completely at peace. Ashley, meanwhile, kept glancing over with a smug grin, absolutely convinced he would vanish the moment he opened the menu. Guiding Leonardo through the dining room, Ashley didn't even bother to check if he was keeping pace. Rather than seating him near the sparkling chandeliers, she escorted him to the dimmest, least appealing corner, right next to the kitchen's hustle, with clattering dishes and the distant buzz of staff talking behind the scenes. "Here you go. This should suffice," she said, tossing the menu onto the table. "I think you'll be comfortable here. It's more private." Leonardo surveyed the table, then looked back at Ashley with the same unwavering half smile. "Thank you." She folded her arms, narrowing her gaze. Was he mocking her, or was he simply oblivious? "You're welcome," she replied cynically. "Just so you know, we typically hold this table for special cases, but since it's free, it's all yours." With a quick turn, she left before he could respond. When Ashley returned to take his order, her behavior grew more cutting. She flipped open her notepad with a showy flourish and directed a piercing glare at Leonardo. "Have you decided what to have?" she asked bluntly. "Or do you want my recommendation?" He peered at the menu and calmly indicated one of the priciest entrees. "I'd like to try this one." Ashley stifled a laugh, covering her mouth as though suppressing a witty barb. "Ah, the filet de Rossini," she said in a patronizing tone. "A classic choice. Just so we're clear, it's $350. That won't be an issue, right?" His calm remained unbroken.